Aloha! This is the Green Legend Mr. T, and unfortunately I've done it again. I've recorded an entire session without my mic actually being turned on. And again, this is one of the times where it's the mic's fault, it's not mine. It was in the on position, and it wasn't on. I hate this. It's just one stupid flaw of this mic headset thing, is that it just doesn't it it screws up because it's a blasted mute button. It's so stupid. If they just had a switch that just goes up or down, it'd be fine. But it is a switch that goes up and down, except it's a swap. It's not like the on position and the off position. It's the change from whatever you are to the other one position. It's just horrible. Anyways, enough of that. This is more Doom on. Well, actually, this particular part right here is had the big question: Do I want to do Nightmare? And the plan was like always to like do Nightmare, but after like playing around in this and basically seeing that like if I actually want to play through Nightmare, I'm gonna need to like save as I'm going to the level for like best results. So like just do a small section over and over until I get a good enough result to want to keep it to keep playing. And that's that's less than enthusiastic on my part. Like if I was just save at the start of every level and like reset to that save if I die, so I keep all my gear, that'd be one thing. But it's like I'd have to do that just throughout the entire level, and yeah, it's definitely doable. But I didn't find it terribly fun to play. It's not like it's like the game recognizes it's totally unfair. It's not a. It warns you this is hard, but it's not necessarily fun. Are you sure you want to continue? So, I managed to get like partway in. I managed to get to the third level, and at that point, I'm like in shambles. Like I don't have the health and mainly the armor to continue on. So I just I try going back to the second level to like see if I can get a better run where I get to the third level with more armor intact, and it doesn't happen, and I'm just I'm over it by the time I decided to stop. So now I have no idea what to talk about in the interim of all this. This is still as awful as ever, this one encounter in the elevator where I can be shot, but I can't shoot back. 2.5D is weird. And definitely putting like that imp at the top of the elevator. So like, if you get on the elevator, the imp starts doing his like scratch you in the face attack or whatever it is. And if you don't go up the elevator, she shoots you with the fireballs. And you can do nothing to retaliate. And you literally have to just sit on the elevator getting beaten up while you're waiting to go up. So, either way, I just said, nope, that's not what we're here for. And just like, gosh, I just wish you could give you my genuine reaction to playing this. But like, the idea of like, you can't sit still in this mode because all the enemies respawn. After like being dead for a little while, it means you just have to. It's more ideal if you know exactly. It's if you have a planned course of action, and you know where all the gear is already on the map. So you're like, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way, I'm gonna grab this item now. I'm gonna pick this item up later when I'm ready to leave. So it's like That's more than what I'm. It's just more than what I'm trying to do with this series at this time. So sure, I could get through Nightmare, but I don't think I would really enjoy it. It'd be more of a chore, and since I'm trying to like I've decided I'm combining Doom 1 through 3 for this series. I'm just gonna go one game into the next because I think they're all somewhat short. Maybe they get longer as they go deeper, but for the most part, like, it'll be a quick run of each game. I mean, what, like, the first chapter thing was, like... Actually, did I do that? How many things did I do that? That was, like, 4 parts? I don't know, it's probably fine. It's Doom. I've wanted to play this series for a really long time, and I'm just happy to be doing it now. Ugh. Alright, what am I happening in the game right now? I'm in this level 2? Yeah, I'm deciding right now if I should go back, pick up the armor I left behind, or if I should just end the level. Apparently, I should have gone back and got the armor, because running out of armor in this game on Nightmare means you're pretty much dead. There's nothing you can do because you're pretty much guaranteed to take damage as you're running through quarters, because like it's in your interest not to kill everything. It's in your interest to kill what you need to get by, and just this measly amount of shield and not knowing where I can get a new one right off the bat at the start of the next stage basically left me for dead. I could not recover. No matter how many times I played the level, I would just get to a point where I would just have no more health. And I just had to do it over. I could not figure it out. I went back, as I said earlier, I went back to this, like, stage 2, tried to do a better job, and never managed it. I actually did super well that one time I got to the end of the level. I couldn't even replicate that, because I at least had a decent amount of armor. But, like, again, I didn't know better, that I should have just said, oh wow, I did this really well. Time to make good effort on the fact that I did really well and make it even better. Nope, I just said, screw it, end the level. It did not work. Anyways, here, I've gone back to level 2, and I'm just at the point where I'm just done and I want to stop. So I mean, here I am, I'm literally at 1 HP. Finally back here. I have more armor, but now I don't have any health, and I'm just like, gosh, I just don't want to play this anymore. I just said, go right on the ASH. It's fine. I'm just done. Alright, now here's the next part, where I'm back to playing on Ultraviolence in the Shores of Hell. This goes so much smoother. I have a lot more fun. And we'll eventually start. Please press the start button. There you go. Just making it save, I guess. I don't know. Sorry that this is post commentary, not main. What do you call it? Current commentary? Sure. Again, it's just. This is. If there was something else wrong with this headset that I could point and be like, you know, it's not good for A, Y, and Z. It's literally not good because of A and nothing else. And it works like fine. I just have to be careful that I just double check at the start before I do any recording session. The headset is making the proper sounds as I move it. Oh my god, I already told myself this. Unplug it and replug it in. That guarantees that it works. Or no, turn it on and off? I figured out some way that was like 100% to make sure that it would always be on. Was it unplug it? Or was it I should probably just turn it off and on, and then that'll just make it work. Gosh dang it. Hate to say, I actually took the time to... I have, like, notes for, like, one, doing all the settings for the recording screen, since I use Movavi, and you have to... You select the size of the screen, area of the screen you want to record on your computer, and I have like notes for all the settings, and then I have reminders at the top. One is like turn off Discord so that it doesn't buzz during the thing. I've gotten way better at that. I used to be horrible, and it used to go off all the time during my videos. And since it's like making noise through the computer, and like it's not my voice, I can't like I'd be muting the game if I was to mute the noise. I can't get rid of it. So eventually I wrote that down. I've been much better about that. The mic thing, it is now written right next to that note. It is just fix your mic before recording every session. And my God, it's the worst. Look at me now. I now have like, well, I reduced it, but I had 2 hours of footage originally that had no voice audio. It was just it's a sad time, and it's like the start of a new series where I'm all excited and stuff, and I'm learning things, and now I have to try and remember all the things I learned while I was doing a video. Of course, like I say that out loud, but like of course I'm supposed to try and remember all the things I've learned while I'm playing a game. But of course I have to relay that back to you now, and it doesn't come out as smoothly now, does it? Ugh. Sometimes I just ramble. I'm not even like watching the video. I'm just rambling. I had a thing like where the thing was burning me, like the door frame. Did that happen yet? Because that was really annoying when I discovered that, and it was like, why did you even design it this way? You can literally, if you just walk through it fast enough, it doesn't hurt you. But like if you walk through it slowly or just stand in between it suddenly starts hurting you. And what is the blasted thing it's supposed to be in the first place? Oh God, and right now, this is the sad part. This is the sad part. The door shuts that I just opened on the left. And like there's no way to reopen it, and the switch doesn't work anymore. When I discovered that, I was like incredibly frustrated because like, well, what the heck, game? I feel like that's like the one thing that gets me in this game, when like doors and stuff lock behind you, and then you just become unable to access the part of the level that you thought you had access to, but you were like, well, you're presenting me with like a million options, and like how am I supposed to know which options are gonna go away? What if the other rest of the room was the option that was gonna go away, and I picked the way that was gonna go away? How am I supposed to know these things? Anyways, because again, it's not blind, but it's certainly a game that I don't have like fully learned or anything like that. It's just a game I've seen a lot, and it's always been like one that like looks fun. I should do it. I should play that game someday. I just keep going. Or again, we're not here. I'm trying. My plan for this game is I don't want to I don't want to really make use of saves outside of, like, if I'm starting a new session. Of course, I want to get back to where I was at the end of the previous session. The save is good for that. But I'm also... Here's that door. Is this... Yeah, I'll just run through. I learned my lesson from last time. Okay. So I'm also trying to, like... I don't want to... If I were playing on Nightmare, I definitely would be, like, utilizing the save as we get, but I like the idea that there's some sort of punishment for dying, other than just well, I'm very close to dying this part, right? Yeah, I was like, I want out of this room. I do manage to get out, thankfully, but as I was saying, the dying, I'm trying to turn that into a more fun consequence rather than just get all your stuff back. I don't know. If the game had intended for me to keep all my stuff at the start of the level, it would do that for me, right? So the fact that it doesn't do that, like in my brain says like, okay, this is the game developers intend for you to just play through the level as is. Like you lost all your stuff. Well, good luck. You gotta make up for it with your skills and knowledge of the game. Anyway, that's at least my way of thinking about things. So that's how I decided to play the game. As I said, I'm not one to like make use of save states when doing other games and stuff. If there usually has to be a really big reason for me to want to pull out save states for a game. Only time that I've done that during a series was like, what's it? It's the Super Metroid Axel Edition redesign. Yes, Super Metroid Axel Edition redesign. Yeah, that one. That was for the early Power Bomb run, which was not explained well, and also required things of like natures that I had never done before, and there's a big question mark on which way to go. If you go the wrong way, you've suddenly wasted hours of your time because it took you hours to figure out how to pull off all the tricks and stuff. Lots of damage boosting in that game. That needed the save states, and I recognized that early, that if I was going to take the game seriously, I would have to utilize them to play the game seriously. Although, of course, once I had learned the level, practice was over. Save states they went all the way. I never used save states to advance in the game, only to practice stuff. Which was fair. It saved me time. I'm happy with all the decisions I made while playing the game. I wish that game would get its blasted retro achievements, but no one cares that, like, that's the better version of the game. They have the original Axel Edition, but they don't have the remake, which is like the improved version. Why do we have achievements of the old one but not the new one? Anyways, apparently, how do these? I'm just ranting. It's probably fine. At least I'm filling in the air, right? Anyways, the only reason that game was as popular as it is because there was nothing else popular at the time. There was nothing else to match what Axel Edition had done. So that's the game that became famous simply because there was nothing else to be famous over it. Look at that, we beat another level or something. Really paying attention. Oh, goodness. Checking this thing. Okay, I honestly think that, like, if that, again, if I had gotten that secret, it might have been, like, the first level where I had like, 100% everything. Because, like, I had, like, 1 out of 3 secrets, but, like, But, like, if I had just gone in there, that must be a secret, right? Even though it's literally just... I don't know. This blasted game. Why on earth do you have one-time use buttons that reset? If it was just a one-time button and it stayed open, it would have been fine. Also, what am I doing now? I'm looking at the controls. I'm pondering about a jump button that doesn't seem to exist in this game. Apparently, I was wrong when this port of the game came out. They took away the jump button. I swear there's a jump button in this game. It's just not in this version. I tried really hard trying to figure out if, like, if this a good version of the game that was close to the original without actually being the original, because I couldn't figure out how to get the original going. Maybe with enough time I could figure it out. What am I doing now? Am I messing with the Berserk? Have I picked that up? I know there's a Berserk. Oh, did I die? Sorry, I'm sort of spoiling things. I die in this level. But I'm like, there's a Berserk thing in this level, and it's my first time using it, and I'm trying to figure out how the Berserk thing functions. Because I remember it being weird and not intuitive to how you think it would work, but it's also possibly just it's hard to tell because like all the future games also implement Berserk in the same way that the original did, which is once you have a Berserk, it's active until you complete the level or you die. But that's like the screen turns red when you get Berserk, and then it like goes away after a short period of time, making you think that it's only a temporary thing. It is a temporary thing, just only for the level. You can use it as long as you have it for the entire stage. And that's not explained well to the player. Oh boy. Okay. What am I doing now? Just keep checking back in. That's right, I forgot my plasma thing. I can't remember if I picked up the Berserk or not. I feel like oh, these post-commentary things, unless they're like designed with the entire intent, like when I did with the retro achievement video for the Mega Man and Bass. That was like excellent. But that was literally because I was able to talk about the bosses and stuff and playing for it. It was designed to be a post-commentary video, not these blasted videos where I spend like 2 hours talk. Oh, now here's the Berserk thing. Finally, it gives you like a full heal. It's the only thing in the game that really like will take you from 0 to max, which is like the armor, the same way the armor does. And I was trying to use the Berserk. I died because I didn't know how to use it properly. It kind of works in this game similar to how the chainsaw like forces you to like walk forward into the enemy as you're chainsawing them. Or like if you punch someone, it tries to force you to like walk into them and like look directly at them, which is like ideal. I don't know that the original game does that, but it certainly helps in this game where when you're trying to chainsaw them and punch them to death, because like without that, it's actually I think it's pretty awkward to use. And I also come to the conclusion that like you kind of want to like run forward and try to time it. Because then I think they might take more damage, because, you know, half the time they seem to, like, explode into a massive pool of practically evaporating into a pile of blood, is a good way to maybe describe it. And here I am, I'm like, okay, the Berserk ran out, right? I should go back to shooting him, and then I try punching other things, and they still continue to evaporate into puddles of blood. So it gets all confusing. No, I just do my best. Until I learn the ways. It ended up being a very good level because like it takes very good care of me in a way. It's just also a really big level, and I get lost a lot because like this isn't exactly your most straightforward game. It's not like go here, here's your next directive. No, it's here's a map. Go explore. See if you can find secrets. And it's not bad. But those part times, they make me ponder like I'm playing really badly. Why do you have such strange par is not the right word if it's it should be like your record or something, not a par. Par implies that it's average. It is not average. Okay. So I'm still going about this maze, finding a random imp or what are they called, imps? I think they're called imps. Actually went ahead and like really looked at some of like the enemy names, and I'm not gonna remember them all, but I'm at least refamiliarized myself, fact checking the ones that I did remember, say I remembered, and Well, I'm doing all right, I guess. So I haven't made at least I haven't made any mistakes with names. Also, those blasted pinkies, like apparently they're literally just generic demon. They're just called demon, and that's it. No wonder why everyone calls them pinkies. Like, it's the most boring name you possibly could have given them. I mean, is an imp not a demon then? they are is the Baron enemy Baron thing? Is that also not a demon? They look like demons, but then you just have another enemy that literally is just called demon. Silly. Am I still lost? No, I'm still finding my way around. It's just taking a slow practice approach as to not die. It is, in fact, I'm playing on ultraviolence. All this careful handling of myself is keeping me alive, in fact, for the most part. Unless I'm literally fooling around with a berserk thing, trying to figure out how to use it for the first time. It definitely got me killed. But, like, you know, I come out of it a better person with a better understanding of how to use the berserk power-up in this game. So I think it worked out in the end. Oh. Okay. How much longer we got in this blasted box maze? Apparently, still more work to go. At least he keeps supplying me the stuff as he proceed through. Almost out of shotgun shells though. I suppose partly that's due to the fact that I died, but also like I didn't have that much ammo when I died either. I was trying to use the berserk power up to like preserve my ammo because I didn't want to use my plasma gun because that's pretty valuable and it works great. Like killing some of the tougher enemies in this game. Because it's kind of a little bit similar to the chain gun, where like it like stun locks them a little bit. I don't think it's as good as the chain gun for stun locking, but it does keep them from like attacking you. But it just does way more damage than the chain gun does, of course. It's the added benefit. And it's just unfortunate that the ammo is harder to come by for that additional reason that it does more damage. So, trying to save it. And I do have to give credit to this game's music. All of it has been very catchy. What's the word? It's been all of good quality? Sure, let's go with of good quality. It keeps my attention, it keeps me happy, a happy gamer. I still think those are supposed to be like switches of some kind. Yeah, it was like, alright, it's just one guy, I'll just punch him to death. And I was like, wait, why is he dead? I only punched him twice. And here's where I start pondering, like, is the berserker thing still active? Can I still beat people up with my fists? And all because there was just a stray pinky walking around. Very handy. It's like, oh, I'm gonna punch things again and see what happens. And he had 2 hits and he's dead. Oh, yep, I just one-punched an imp. My fist is definitely still powered up. And this gives me an opportunity to try and preserve, well, my shotgun shells at the moment. I technically do have bullets I could use, but it's still kind of slow. Yeah, still works pretty good. Yeah, and he still explodes. Yeah. Still having fun. My gosh dang it, we're back to like box mazes again. How much more of this box maze stuff am I going to be dealing with in this part? And I'm like constantly pressing on all the boxes, hoping that it'll reveal a secret somehow. Because you know, if you don't do that, how will you know if there's a secret there? Again, it's your Dark Souls mechanic where you just have to whack every wall and just double check because you don't know. I think the fact that I'm pulling out my map implies that I'm at the point where I've cleared out most of the area and I'm just trying to figure out where I can go next. I mean, there's a surprising amount of times that this happens where like the game does a very good job of keeping you puzzled in a way. Like, yeah, there's stuff you have to look around for and find. After you activate a switch, you have to go look for what that switch did. And it doesn't do it to the point where like you're banging your head against the wall, but it does it enough that it keeps you focused. Like you can't just like you just go out guns blazing and then be like, oh yeah, I found where the exit is. No, you have to keep in mind where you are in the level, what places you haven't gone to yet. You can't just rely on enemies being around to indicate when an area is unexplored yet, because the game might like take out a trap door and put in new enemies in that area. They call that like a dynamic gameplay or something of that nature, or like an area being dynamic as opposed to being static and forever unchanging, which keeps all the areas interesting. Very good mechanic. And here's a good little puzzle. Like, holy mackerel, this game has puzzles. I had to like follow the lines in the ceiling so that the floor panels would actually like rise from the floor and allow me to grab the key, because I couldn't just run over the lava and grab it like I tried at first. It just wasn't viable. Okay, here's our first of many secrets. I have decent shotgun shells now, finally. And that's all that was. It was just an ammo restock, but it was a very good ammo restock. I look at those blue things on the floor and I keep thinking like, they kind of look like the sort of type of thing that would like damage you if you touched them. And like, I don't think at any point it ever actually does damage you, but like I also didn't ever give it a chance to have the opportunity to damage me. So I just really don't know. Anyways, neither of these two additional holes with weird rising and lowering platforms had any further secrets to hide for me, so we leave them forever alone while I continue to figure out where I am going next. And I see this pinky showing up as a good chance to indicate I haven't been here yet. Even though I literally just said that the levels are dynamic and the enemies appearing don't necessarily indicate that it's an area you haven't been before, since they can offer up new enemies for you to go beat up. There's that dynamic level design I was talking about. And I've learned from this point, like, look, if I shoot them once with a shotgun and they're not dead, I can pull out the pistol if there's like nothing else going on, just finish them off that way. Ooh, now that's some solid cell ammo for a gun that I now have a replacement of, because I lost my original plasma gun when I died. How handy is that? And that wasn't even like a secret or anything. It was just there. Yeah, I don't think I saw any secret text show up. So it was planned that you would find that, really. Okay. So I grabbed the armor earlier, even though it wasn't like fully out, because I just wanted to keep my health up. But after seeing the super armor, I was like, alright, the exit's right there. What I'll do is I'll leave that alone right before I'm exiting the level. I'll grab it, and then I'll have armor for the next level. And hopefully there'll be enough health packs around on the floor that I can make sure that I'm at near full health, too. So, that is my plan, and here I'm just wondering what the heck it is with this blue 4. Don't give it a chance to ever damage me if that's what it does. I just don't care to find out. I suppose I could, knowing that I was at decent health and decent armor. I'm like, this is totally a trap. And in fact, was a trap. They even closed the door behind me. And I'm like, oh god, I just realized I cannot back up. So I might be like... So like, if I get stuck in a corner and the pinky is like eating me up and there's nothing I can do, I'm gonna die pretty fast, so... I realize that I need to, like, figure out a way to save myself from my own situation. And punching them in the face, since I have the berserk thing, seemed like a very good opportunity, since it was enough room for me to back up, and then I could, like, run into them with my punch to keep them from, like, boxing me in. Also, welcome to second secret, which is almost, like, unimpressive, because it's, like, 3 items on the ground. But then there's another door behind it that it also opens up, so... yeah, this game goes nuts with its secrets sometimes. They have literal secrets within secrets. And I also, like, get to the point where I'm more able to, like, recognize the door, because there's a certain look to it that doesn't match the texture around it, so it makes it stand out. And that's the type of thing you want to use to your advantage when locating all these different secrets. I still don't have a blue key, though, which means I'm still unsure of where I'm supposed to be heading. Did I grab that yellow key earlier, or was that like my most recent prize? Can't even remember. And gosh dang, we're back in the blasted box maze, and I'm just like, gosh, I just hope I don't need to go back in there. And I see that there's still the green acid area I haven't explored yet. And I'm wondering, I guess it's probably time to check this area out, see what's going on. Have we seen other lost souls yet? Not sure. That may have been our first, the little floaty skull guy. And then I come over here and I'm like, oh, shoot, I literally just lost all this health for nothing. This is where you wind up if you fall down the exit moat. Sure, moat's probably good enough. At least I'm not in, like, all the areas are mostly cleared out, so I can go around and fix my health back up. Fix up my armor, too. Once you start getting below, like, 50% armor, you start to notice a large drop in its effectiveness. I mean, even the acid, like, normally it does, like, 2% and then, like, 2% armor. It was doing 4% health and, like, 2% armor. Because I didn't have enough armor or something. And here we are again with, like... So, did I just lose access to that backpack because I didn't know and wasn't fast enough? But then I noticed, like, hang on, there's, like, switches on the back of all of these things that rose up. So that means I should, like... that I'm fine, right? One of these will bring it back down? Or something of that nature? Sometimes it's confusing whether or not you find a secret or not, because like that definitely was a secret. I guess that was noise was to indicate that these things were dropping. Is it? That's confusing sometimes. Also, we got a rocket launcher now, because I realized apparently the fact, even though the buttons all went away, I can still press them even though they're in the floor. It's a little weird, but definitely makes me happy that I didn't just like lose out on another secret. And in fact, it was the rocket launcher, for crying out loud. That would have been huge to have missed out on. The rocket is pretty solid, taking out rooms of enemies or dealing with barons, which are pretty tough. Anyways, we're not done with the level yet. We got lots of cool stuff, but we still don't have an exit for the exit moat to cross or something. Don't have the blue key either. There's still a blue key out there. So I realized quickly that here's another yellow door that I should now be able to open up. I see a chain gun on in the middle of the room. I see a bunch of pinkies, so I pull up my fist and get the work. It's not too bad as long as you back away once you get your punch in, so they don't bite you. Oh, chain gun. Like this, as I said like way earlier, this level does a very good job of prepping me back up to full firepower something, or full arsenal. Oh, I'm also like messing around with like the shortcut weapon buttons, because like the directional pad, or should I say the directional buttons? It's not a pad in this on the Switch 2 or the Switch 1 for that matter. It has defaults. You can pull out the shotgun easy, you can pull out the chain gun easy, you can pull out the plasma rifle easy, or you can pull out the rocket launcher easy. However, there's no way to like assign what weapons you want to be the shortcuts, so I can't like make my fist or my pistol or later on a chainsaw be like a quick easy pullout, because that would have been handy. Not to mention the fact that what is it, the X button? Hang on, which one is it? The Y button. Yeah, the Y button in this game doesn't actually serve any function. So like, I was like, couldn't you have also made that a quick weapon button? Like that, maybe that would be the pistol or something. You know, just anything to make life easier. But that's the Switch for you, or not playing with a keyboard and mouse. Even though you supposedly can use the mouse on the Switch too. Haven't figured. I was like, we can use the mouse to play Doom now, right? It's the Switch 2. It has mouse capabilities, and it's like, nope, it doesn't know what to do with the mouse. And I don't know what to do with the mouse either. Okay, so seriously, where I'm still looking for a key or anything, something. Where do I go? I've already done a whole lot of looking around. I even found lots of secrets. I'm all geared up. I'm like, I'm probably ready to like finish up the level now. But just, how do I go about doing that? Still have not found that part. And here's where I realized this second secret within the secret within the secret. I wasn't kidding about that. They like to put secrets in this game. So I got the map, and with the help of the map, which I now know is incredibly detailed in that it shows you exactly what areas in the map, even in rooms you've been in, what you haven't done yet. Because like, it's not like a big, oh, you walked close enough to this area, it fills out the map. You have to literally look at the wall for you to scan it into your map, which is beautiful. That's a beautiful concept right there. It's horrible if you're like OCD or something like that, but like, yeah, it shows that, oh yeah, I haven't gone to this part yet, where we have all the crushy things. which you just rub up against because you do not want to be under it and you do not want to try and time it. You're going to get yourself killed that way. I know that because of watching other people get crushed by this thing all the time. And look, there's a chainsaw! Somehow I'm even getting even more armored up for this game. And like, I do not want to get pushed back into the crushers, so I just pull out my chain gun and just... I got bullets, let's use them. So, at long last we got chainsaw. And it still does the whole yank you forward thing, which is greatly appreciated actually. So long as it actually doesn't like pull you past them, which happens on occasion. Like one thing you have to watch out for when using a chainsaw is being pulled past an enemy that you thought you were going to be able to just literally break into pieces with your chainsaw. Anyways, that pink meat got close enough to me to give me a good bite. And so I figured, let's go. Well, we have the entire level at our disposal to get health from. There's still plenty of health items that I have not picked up. Let's top ourselves up and then get right back to it. Which is, well, pretty much what I do. And it was only the one secret, only one area that did not have a wall. And like getting squished in this game is like instant death. There's no escaping getting squished. You just sit in the squished state waiting for you to die. You got squished, you can't move. You're just stuck. And because the walls can't move until you are crushed, it just keeps moving into you until you are crushed. Absolutely wonderful. So don't get crushed in this game. That's not the weapon I'm looking for. That's not the weapon I'm looking for. That's not the weapon I'm looking for. That's the only problem right now, is that there's not an easy way to get the exact item you want unless it's one of the quick weapons. When I was like started like trying to use the D-pad, it was actually like with the intent of like scroll wheel, except you already can scroll. It's like that's exactly what the R and L buttons do. Maybe I wasn't doing that. Maybe it was because I read the controls. Yeah, it's probably because I read the controls and I saw that it was like quick select or something. That's probably what I did. And as you can see, we almost have the entire map laid out. And we, in fact, now have more key cards. So, I've also started realizing that if there's ever, like, a room with, like, armor or super armor that I want to pick up when I'm ready to, like, finish the level, I should actually take the time to look at that room on the map so that I know exactly where I need to go when I am ready to finish this level. So, thankfully, I just rediscovered the room that had the super armor, so I made a note of myself just then and there. Alright, this is the room I want to return to. Just get myself down here. Once I get myself into the right spot, which is just what I did. Very well handled. And now I just check my ammo. There's nothing left. I'm just happy to move on. It was a very solid level. It took a long time to get through, but very solid. Hard is just not the right word. Yep, that was a doozy of a level. Anyways, that is going to do it for this part. The next part will be out shortly, so that we can just get past this disgrace of a loss of audio. Aloha.